Hi, my name is Sierra Smith. I'm a seven-figure Etsy shop optimization specialist and analyst with over 5 years of experience optimizing 100 plus Etsy shops across a variety of niches, industries, target customers, whatever you want to call it. I help aspiring and current Etsy sellers go from feeling overwhelmed and unsure about growing their business to running a highly optimized, profitable Etsy shop so they can scale their revenue and build a successful, sustainable business. If you'd like to check out my portfolio and client testimonials or get in contact with me, I'd love to hop on a discovery call. All my links are down below in the description. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about your first month on Etsy and how to make sales as a new shop. Diving right into it, your goal right now as a new shop is to enhance your shop's credibility, which will of course get you to make sales. This equals minimizing the risk of purchasing from you. Now, I know this might sound like a bit of an odd goal, but why should this be your focal point? Because your greatest barrier to sales right now is your lack of credibility as compared to top competitors. So as a new shop, if you work with me or you are pretty much trying to work with just about most gurus, you're going to need to rely on Etsy ads for immediate visibility and sales. And that is immediate because we are trying to get you immediate visibility and sales. And with organic traffic, it's just a longer term game. So when you are showing up side by side, your top competitors, they're showing up organically, you're showing up as an advertisement, naturally they're going to be the obvious choice because they likely have 10K plus sales and a ton of 5-star reviews, or at least reviews that are averaging in the upper 4 stars. That review count and average star rating shows up from search. So as I'm showing here, this gives you an idea. This is one of my clients that I work on, and you can see what this listing looks like from search. You're not seeing the sales count, you're seeing the count of reviews, and you are seeing the average star rating. So this really matters because essentially this is really the only reason these top shops are the obvious choice over you. There is nothing else about your listing that, or at least if you craft it in a way that holistically aligns with what your best sellers are doing, you're optimizing for the same keywords, you have very strong photography and visuals and value propositions on those visuals, which you showcase in customization, mentioning personalization, mentioning ship time, and whatever else you're mentioning on that cover photo. Essentially, the only reason that shop looks more competitive than you from search is that review count. So as a new shop, our goal is to minimize the risk of purchasing from your shop. So I say right here too, if you've not fully differentiated your products based on validated market demand and leveraging innovative design, materials, and value propositions that align with underserved demand, validated demand on Etsy, then you'll have products that look pretty similar to top competitors. And that is when it gets so important that you are able to compete effectively with that credibility. Now, it's different if you have products that are super unique and innovative and nobody else is offering a similar product to you, because in that case, you are technically like the only choice in that respect. You have a very unique product. But in most cases, you are going to have top competitors who have listings that are going to be direct competitors to yours, and your products are not going to be extremely unique in themselves. And that is when you are competing on that credibility and of course like those value propositions. But it's not too hard to communicate the value propositions. What's hard to communicate is that credibility. So in the eyes of risk averse customers and customers who are looking for an enjoyable, satisfactory purchasing process, they're going to go with that big shop. And this tends to be the case with the majority of Etsy consumers, many of which are buying gifts, which does include last minute gifting, where they don't have time to receive an item or gifting experience that's subpar. And that's the risk with them buying from a new shop. So your goal is to get your review count up while keeping that average star rating high, because only the average star rating and review count go up from search, not that sales count. You could have a tenth of a top competitor's sales and the same amount of reviews, and your listings will look equally as credible from search because it's that review count that shows up. Given, like I said, you're also leveraging strategic search facing on that cover photo, beginning of the title, entry-level price point, you are leveraging strategic search-facing value proposition, then you'll become the obvious choice once you are at least equaling them with that number of reviews. But you don't necessarily have to be equal. You just need to have a decent amount of 5-star reviews. Now, as a disclaimer, this video is largely for those who define items to sell, although you'll still benefit from these tips if you haven't actually decided on products to sell yet. If you haven't, then head over to my How to Make Sales on Etsy video for a structured approach to defining a product mix that caters to validated underserved. Now let's dive into the most surefire ways to build trust, sales, and reviews as a new shop. Number one, you want to offer a satisfaction guarantee. Love it or your money back with free return shipping. You want to place this label on your listing's cover photos so this guarantee is visible from search. Placing the label on the cover photo will leave your title free for SEO. However, if you'd rather not place a label on the cover photo for whatever reason, then you could also type free returns at the beginning of your title. You can choose to split test the effectiveness of maybe putting that free returns in capital letters, and then you can split test and just completely duplicate that listing and try to have that same listing with free returns in lowercase or just title case, just to see what leads to the most clicks and then conversions. And that's just an easy way to kind of test how to actually communicate that value proposition of that satisfaction guarantee from search. Next, you do want to offer returns. So that goes hand in hand with that satisfaction guarantee. You'll want to officially set this up within the Etsy seller dashboard. You'll need to indicate that you do accept returns, and that'll need to be free. Now again, this needs to be in conjunction with you actually communicating from a search facing perspective that you do accept returns. However, Etsy will put a returns accepted label automatically on listings where returns are accepted. And I have this example here for you to look at so you understand what that looks like. We see right here under the price point, that entry level price point for that listing, Etsy places returns accepted. So that's a label that does show up from search, and that's just a way again of minimizing the risk of you as a new shop. Again though, it's good to mention free returns because this only says returns accepted. So when you manually go in and put on that cover photo or put at the beginning of the title free returns, satisfaction guarantee, then again that is really when you are going to be aligning with your customers' pain points, because as in anybody buying for a new shop, that's a concern that they're not going to like what they receive and that they'll end up wasting money, and they will end up wasting money if you offer returns but they're not free. So you just want to minimize that risk for them. Next, you do want to price your item approximately 10% below top competitors via a discount to keep that perceived value high. Now that is just an easy way to level the playing field. Unfortunately, as a new shop, because they are winning on credibility, they have much more reviews than you and a high average star rating, you have to compete on price. Typically, unless your product or your cover photos just greatly exceed what theirs look like. However, if they're a bestseller, and I'm assuming you are comparing your listings with bestsellers since they are what represent that validated market demand, there's a good chance they have a strong product and they have strong photos. So it does tend to be that price point that you have to compete on. I say via a discount because that keeps that perceived value high and it doesn't make you seem like the budget option. It still makes it seem like your item is of very high quality, but you're able to bring in some customers who maybe just want to spend a little bit less, and you're not going to do, in most cases, as a new or small shop, you're just not going to do well on the platform coming in charging more than your premium competitors. Like the competitors who have established reviews and a high star rating, lots of sales. If you come in charging more than them for essentially the same item, you're just not going to do as well on Etsy, even with ads and that high visibility, because you're just not obvious choice. Next would be scarcity tactics. So that would include limited edition and limited time text mentions on your cover photos. Again, you could also throw this at the beginning of that title if for whatever reason you don't want to put it on the cover photo, but that would be quote unquote wasting some of that SEO space. So if you're able to just manually type in limited edition or limited time and put that on that cover photo, then that's just going to be a way from search for you to encourage people to click through and impulsively buy your listings, because people don't want to feel like they're missing out. And that also kind of conveys just like some scarcity, and it also kind of enhances that perceived value because customers feel like they're not going to be able to buy this for a long time. And then scarcity sales of 24 to 48 hours, you can additionally set that up within the shop dashboard, and that'll also ensure that a label will show up on your listings, a countdown timer where customers are able to see sale ends in this amount of time. If it's more than like 2 days, then it'll show up sale ends in this amount of days. Ideally, you want to set up consistent sales in durations of 24 hours or 48 hours so that that countdown timer shows up. So it'll say sale ends in like 10 hours, and then they'll literally see a countdown timer that is counting down the seconds. And of course, that's going to encourage some impulse buys. Additionally, you want to set your inventories to low amounts. So anywhere from like 1 to 5 is where you're going to want to set your inventory, because Etsy will also automatically generate the label of this much in stock. You'll say something like, if it's in anybody's carts, it'll say only X number of items left and in this amount of carts. So if it's in 5 carts and there are only 3 left, we'll say only 3 left and in 5 carts. And again, that naturally can encourage some impulse buys. Additionally, as a new shop, if you have any kind of credibility enhancing background, this is something a lot of shops do not think about. It's particularly important for digital downloads. For example, if you're selling a digital food planner, you'd want to mention anything in your background that would enhance your credibility and make you the obvious expert choice in this field, such as crafted by a 10-year nutritionist. That's something you'd want to put right there on that cover photo. Again, I'm pulling this from me working with actual clients who have done this. I had a client in the home care principal space, had a team that had 10 plus years of experience in home care. So of course, we enter the market putting that text mention right on that cover photo, and naturally, very, very quickly, with ads running, of course, we got very high sales and a nice review count coming in as well. So you want to make sure that this is easy to read from search, and additionally include another listing image that actually lays out your seller backstory, expounding on this experience. This can also be something like crafted by a straight A grad student, if you are maybe your target customer's ideal self or their visionary self, or if you are your current target customer, such as by a nurse for nurses. Additional credibility value enhancing value propositions include specific mention pertaining to the product. So think solid hardwood, durable, long-lasting, lifetime warranty. These are all things that you'd want to communicate either at the beginning of that title or on that listing cover photo. You can do this in text, or you can find ways to visually showcase these things. If that's a close-up on your product, showcasing the texture, the thickness, the packaging, whatever you need to do. I know that I'm saying this is your first month, so if you already have products on the platform, this is me telling you to in fact go back into your listings and add these value propositions, add these search facing value enhancements if you have not already done this on your listings, because this is going to make that first month so much more profitable. Ensure that you get actual clicks and actual sales, because you are actually going to be a viable competitor in the vast sea of Etsy. Additionally, you will want to start your shop with a loss leader in the product mix. This is a low cost item that'll get customers through the door. You'll then be able to gather a quick amount of sales and reviews by leveraging customer service that updates customers throughout the order process and requests feedback, all while showing personal interest in the customer. That's how you're actually going to get them to leave a positive. Even better if this item could be purchased repeatedly, like if it's a seasonal item or a yearly item, or maybe if you whatever is in your niche, if it's something that could be repeatedly purchased, that is going to be a very good loss leader, because you're not only going to get sales from new customers, but you're going to get sales from existing customers. Now, this is something you do not want to offer customization on. You want to be able to ship this out extremely quickly, which will also lead to more positive reviews, because customers love quick shipping. They love when you under promise and then you over deliver. But again, this is only going to work if you are actually leveraging customer service after you're making those sales, because again, it's that review count that shows up from search, not that sales count. So you don't just want to get your sales up with that loss leader, but you want to get your reviews up with that loss leader. And customers cannot tell, from search, they cannot tell if that you are getting those reviews on a bunch of items that cost $5 versus if you're getting those reviews on your items that maybe cost $50. The review count shows up as the same, so it'll really help your higher price point, your premium price point items to even look competitive from search, because quite frankly, that distinction is not made. All of your reviews are summed up under that one count. Okay, and now this is after you've created products and you've created listings that are holistically optimized to align with your target customer, with their greatest purchasing intent. Why are they coming to Etsy? What are they buying? For what occasions? For what recipients? For what rooms? For what time in their life? When you have holistically optimized those listings with visuals that align with the best sellers in your platform, very aesthetic product presentation are in your niche, and you have optimize your listings with keywords that align with how your customers are searching. So you have validated that these keywords have underserved demand on Etsy, likely with a variety of third-party tools. In most of my videos, I mention Everbee, Sales Samurai, and eRank. Those are the best tools for finding keywords with validated demand, or at this point, even as a new shop, you may be getting some internal traffic. You may be getting some internal data for further optimizing your listing. So also use whatever keywords Etsy is telling you, especially if those keywords do have high clicks and then conversions. You'll see all of that within overall traffic stats for your shop. So given you've done the market research and have that validated demand for your product mix, run an Etsy ads campaign with the campaign objective of drive orders short term and set the budget to the max per day if you're able. This would be $25 per day for new shops. Now your return will cover this if your items have that validated search-facing value proposition that differentiate your items and justify the cost. You'll want to use that data from your Etsy ads to refine your listings and expand your product mix. Again, responding to the data and using what the data is telling you about what products are selling, what kind of cover photos are getting clicked, what keywords are getting your products found, and you want to respond quickly to this data. Because as a new shop, with any new listings, your listings are given a slight boost search results, so Etsy can test engagement with your list. So your goal during this phase is to get engagement as high as possible and quick. So that is ultimately summed up as the listing's conversion rate or number of sales respective to the number. So you want to get as many sales as you possibly can on these new listings in your shop, and Etsy ads will allow you to do that. In addition to you will get a lot of data really quickly, and that is honestly, like, if you can get a lot of data for optimizing your listings, you're going to be in a really good spot to create listings that actually convert and meet your customers where they're at. If you'd like a video all about responding to Etsy ads data and making quick refinements based on the metrics, then do let me know. One quick note though, if you're getting clicks and no sales, there could be points of confusion or overly complicated decision making in the purchasing process. Want to use your variations within your listing to reduce any of that potential friction for customers. You want to make sure it's extremely clear how to purchase your item. When they click on your product, it should be simple for them to choose the options they want, whether that's size, color, or personalization. You want to ensure that those personalization instructions are extremely clear. So make sure your listing images and description communicate that process clearly so customers feel confident buying. Now, if you'd like for me to handle these things for you and guide the strategy for your shop, then please do get in touch with me. I would love to hop on a call with you. Again, all of my links are down below. I would love to chat with any of you about your Etsy. Now, if you're ready to take your Etsy shop to the next level, whether you're just getting started or struggling to see results, I've got something for you. I have an optimization course for Etsy shop owners that is coming soon. It is designed to help sellers like you go from confusion and slow sales to running a thriving, profitable shop. I'll walk you through everything from optimizing your listings to standing out in a crowded market and scaling your shop for long-term success. Right now, I'm offering a special pre-sale deal with limited spots available. When you join today, you'll get early access to exclusive bonuses like a one-on-one strategy session with me and live Q&A calls, but this offer is only available for a limited time, so please don't miss out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of future updates. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.